Dropping points like a Christmas tree drops needles were Leicester. Time for the special branch to move in. Messrs Speedy and Joachim, of whom barely a word lately. Speedy was straining at the leash against a Bristol City side who've been climbing steadily up the table. Now, Julian Joachim's a bit like a magnolia bush. Looks terrific for 3 weeks, stunningly ordinary the rest. Is he flowering to deceive again, or is it springtime already? And talking of spring, it's amazing how many little strikers are good in the air, probably overcompensating for what nature denied them. Speedy again, and Leicester owe it all to the mini brigade. Great pincer movement. Birmingham City run off with the manager and West Brom pillaged the points. Southend could well collapse without Barry Fry, let's hope not. They didn't do themselves any favours after Paul Marden was penalised for handball, that's for sure. Tony Lang's save was all the incentive Albion required to continue repairing a poor season back in the First Division. Bob Taylor has the same galvanising effect on them as Steve Bull on Wolves, and Ian Hamilton was irresistible. Although Peter Taylor had been appointed manager of Southend, there was next to nothing he could do as his Black Country namesake proceeded to embarrass the First Division's surprise package. With a little help from his mates, of course. And it was all over quickly, with Southend suffering the final indignity of a shoot-yourself-in-the-foot episode, though the goal was awarded to Andy Hunt. Up to 7th place went Stoke City, whose progress is in stark contrast to Chelsea and Mark Stein. Say what you like about the back pass law, it creates goals, and that's what we like, don't we? Gary Bannister on hand for this gift. Toddy Orligson didn't distinguish himself as a goal scorer at Forest, but it's changed now. Not only did he win our November Goal of the Month competition, he weighed in with a couple more as Middlesbrough again failed to live up to their early season promise. OK, his second was as soft as they come, but Stoke have won 6 home games in succession, and Joe Jordan must be enjoying life. Middlesbrough's only reply was sweetly taken by Peake, but irrelevant. Awful thing to say about a goal, but true nevertheless. Funny old game. They get their shocking away form into gear at Palace, of all places, but despite Gary Lund's super header, Notts go and blow it at home, where they were unbeaten since the opening day of the season. 3 goals in 17 minutes late in the game wrecked their afternoon. They were all scored by Ray, whose right and left feet can seldom have twinkled so dazzlingly. Call it casual defence and you'd be half right, but don't overlook the fact that Millwall are suddenly the form team in this division, and I guess it had to happen sooner or later. Oxford's 4th home defeat of the season means their backs are firmly against the wall after an impressive revival under Dennis Smith. They held out for an hour or so, only to be dissected. Kelly with the first, and then Thompson found Whitehead in strangely benign mood as he challenged for the cross. The bookmakers' favourites for the drop are in for a hard midwinter. So, my goodness, of the bottom club Peterborough. A 6-pointer this, but you wouldn't have thought so by the amount of time and space Peyton was allowed to catapult Barnsley out of the bottom 5. Tranmere went back to the top with a narrow win at Kenilworth Road, not the easiest of places to secure 3 points. All it needed was a little slack marking. Toast Barry's arrival with a win, but they did score their first goal in 6 games. Truth was, Palace and the emerging Gareth Southgate in particular were too hot to handle. Now here comes the chink of light, and before you say what a slice of luck, remember that luck has deserted Birmingham in recent months, and Andy Saville needed all the encouragement he could get. Especially as the celebrations only lasted a minute. Now, whether your manager's Barry Fry or Johan Cruyff, you can't do much about John Solarco in this form.